See, join me in the process. Telling them, no, this is my third try to get this video without them barking, going crazy. It's the first nice warm day that they've come out of the blankets and they want to be curious about everything that's going on, of every noise outside. All right, so let's rock and roll. Bad Girl Mystic here. Happy Transformation Thursday. This is another video in the series I'm calling The Coloring Connection, where I just riff. Really, I'm just riffing. Just talking straight to you about what it's like to have a creativity practice to heal trauma, specifically early childhood sexual trauma, pre-verbal, and what is called complex PTSD on top of that. Some serious auto accidents, and just a whole lot of other shit. Violence, gun rape at 13. Why am I telling you all this? So you get a clear barometer. Like, I know for me, if I heard someone's story and they had been down the rabbit hole deeper than I on transformation, or they have experiences that I could relate to their pain, I could relate to their suffering, I was more willing to listen to whatever it was that they had to tell me that would actually help unlock the key to the craziness of living with PTSD, not knowing you have PTSD, and then finding out there's not a whole lot of fucking information on how to heal PTSD. There is to identify it. And there's even less for women who have dealt with sexual trauma. And then those numbers drop when it goes to early childhood trauma. So when it came to transformation, I realized I had to dive deep and not give a fuck what anybody thought. And the drugs weren't working for me when I was younger. I went on and off them with a doctor's care. I've done more than 10 years traditional therapy. I've done 12-step. I've been doing this 30 years. So I have had my past lives read. And yes, I was a witch. And yes, I did eat shit for that. But ultimately, knowing my past life did not resolve the issues I was having physically in reacting to trauma in my environment and reacting to triggers and just being on this hypervigilance feeling of waiting for the other shoe to drop. What slowly started to really turn shit around for me was when I found out about the chakra system, and that it was a description of the emotional body, a description of our elements and how it relates to earth, a description of our physical elements and the hormones in our endocrine system that line up with the chakras. And it was just dealing on all levels of what it means to be a she alchemy, right? So the chakras became my map for building a daily formula that I connected with, that helped me start to create these moments and experiences that I could grow, that would become deeper and richer than the memories of the trauma, to dive down those shadows and find out, okay, what belief is this holding? Why do I value this? Is it necessary? Can it go? Is it old software? Is it new software? Here's something that Amy put in that I thought was really cool that I did not know about the chakras, is that they can cross-correspond to spokes on the Celtic wheel of the year, and try using these time frames to work on each chakra. So I have a Chakra Oracle deck, and I'm like, ooh, that sounds really fucking cool. I've never done that before, and that's really this other bird's eye view of how to look at our body. And that's why I like chakra as a map for healing, because it's a bird's eye view of how to look at ourselves, and then start building a day-to-day formula based on what is hurting. Is your heart breaking? Is your low back hurt? Do your feet hurt? Are your hands hurting? Is your neck hurting? Is your jaw holding tension? Are you having a hard time breathing? Are you breathing too fast? Are you not sleeping? These are all things that we need to dive deeper than a physical level into why we're holding the tension in the first place from past emotions in our muscles, and hammering our body with survivor hormones because we don't know how to release it. And what I did is I made my chakra, not my chakra, my protection bag. And it was funny, I wanted to do it in black. And I found a red one, and red is passion, power, and it just kind of, all the information that's coming into my universe for my journey, there's a lot of connection to why I do witchcraft, is that by building inner power, it's syncing and connecting with building outer power. And that's the real reason why, is I was looking for, there was so much physically that recently I've been unable to do because of my traumatic brain injury, and I was feeling like a weak, just weak. And then that weakness would get mirrored by panic and fear of never being better. So I knew I had to build my inner power and build up what I do know how to do and what is comfortable and where is my range of motion, and expand out from there and start building more strength, slow and steady. What witchcraft does for me this past year, what I've realized, is it helps me stay in flow. It helps me stay in sync. So I'm not spraying and praying and, just doing random acts of self-care to relieve my suffering. I'm actually able to chart where I started with my formula, look at what's not working, make adjustments, and then be able to track it to the next month and see, hey, where has this balanced out? Where can I use a little more help here and there? So I made a charm bag. I went intuitively through my stuff and chose what was going to go in it. I intuitively chose the incantations and drew the sigil. Why I mention that is then it's really fun to then look up what those things are and go, oh my gosh, and start seeing a trend in what you chose, where there's concentration in certain subjects like fortune, success, that's third chakra, building power, uplifting, protecting, conduit, aligning, exchange, amplifying, calming, stabilizing, goddess energy, deep connection, balance. So these were all reoccurring words that came up when I did the research on what I put in my charm bag. Now, how that relates to chakras, I'm staying on topic. Then I listed each item and what chakra it related to. And from there, this little formula here, then I'm going to put into what I call my big book of shadows, where I keep my shadow journal, and add it to there to refer back to, just kind of be with it and connect with it on a deeper level. Okie dokie. So we're getting ready to head out of January. Still didn't do any work on that other page. Kitty cleaning himself. All right. I hope you guys have a great Thursday. Once again, any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments, or if you want something more private, you can message me. Just put a little note, because I do, I have to accept. So I read everything first and accept it. Anywho, that's just a little bit of business. And if you ever want to see articles I post or memes about transformation and creativity and female spirituality, you can always go to my Facebook page, Bad Girl Mystic, and there is loads, or check my stories. Anywho, yeah, I'm good. I'm off to acupuncture, speaking of transformation, and get some restorative balance to my body. All right. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.